currently married. I also have a boyfriend. I'm not sure.
Hold up. Yeah, let's go ahead and just run that back one more again, shall we? Because there is no way I just heard what I heard.
I'm currently married. I also have a boyfriend.
Okay. Yep, definitely heard what I heard. All right. I am currently married and I have a boyfriend. Let's just see where this goes. All right. I'm going to give this a chance. Maybe there's some sort of misunderstanding here, right? Because we definitely heard what we heard, but there must be more context to this that's going to make this more palatable to those of us who still have an inkling of humanity in us. So let's just go ahead and do that.
I'm not sure if my husband still loves me, but I know my boyfriend does.
I consider myself an optimist. I really do. I have hope for the future. I have hope for us as a collective as well as individuals. But there are moments where I think to myself that, perhaps that meteor that's been long overdue, that asteroid, it's not such a terrible idea. The skies opening up, the heavens parting, and the end being nigh here would not be so bad. Not around stuff like this. This almost justifies the end of all of this.
Okay, so hold on. Let's say what part of the Bible is this in? Yes or no? Do you love your husband?
I do.
Yes or no? Do you love?
What type of delusion are some of these people living? I'm sorry, and I do not want to make this a male-female thing, but I have to be honest about what feminism has done to the minds of a lot of women, right? It's the same thing that liberalism, the same thing that quote-unquote progressivism or this neo-Marxist mentality has done to those who view themselves as being woke or on the left, right? It has turned their literal physical brains into smoothed apparatuses. The smooth brainedness of these individuals is unfathomable to me, at least. I don't know about you, but when I hear, I used to consult people in the relationship space, right? Many moons ago. And let's just say when I would deal with some of my female clients, and we would get into the nuances of relationships, and sometimes I would unpack and discover that there was something going on there that was not necessarily being brought to the surface. Predominantly, let's say there was infidelity. In almost every situation, there was an excuse made or there was some sort of justification. Well, my husband is not loving me the way I should be loved. Well, if only he showed up in this and that way, then I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing. There was always something there. He wasn't giving me compliments. I'm talking about, and these are grown ass people. Some of these people I used to consult were twice my age at the time, at least, right? 26, 27, they'll be in their 50s. And I would hear the same type of situation. Well, before my divorce, yes, I had an affair, but no, there is no but. There's no justification. You're either in the relationship or you're not. You betrayed your partner. That's what you did. A lack of character. Now, this happens on both sides, men and women, unfortunately, will cause this sort of betrayal, will cause this sort of trauma into another person's life, the person that they claim to love. But when it comes to the lack of accountability, my God, I will let this play out, but I'm floored. I'm flabbergasted. I was not prepared for this today.
Boyfriend born?
I don't know yet.
You don't know yet?
But you said you weren't sure that your husband still loves you.
Right.
Why?
Right. I don't feel it. I don't feel like.
Are y'all intimate?
No.
How long has it been?
About 2 years.
Girl. I think you better call.
Maybe he's getting erect with emotions in his relationship. Maybe he has
A hard-on love.
hard on.
I didn't think we are gonna have to get to the cultural conversation here, but here we go. Dear black people, when did it become okay to have a thing on the side? Like, when did it become culturally okay? When did that happen? Because we're there now. We're in a place where this is like common conversation. People have conversations about, well, you know, my side chick, my side dude. And I understand that every group of people, you know, can be trifling as hell. But at the very least, it's taboo. It's looked down upon. It's something that people look to hide. They're not so open about it. Again, you're wrong. You're trifling. You are essentially an individual who lacks character, morality, integrity. But when did it get to this? I mean, they were joking around, laughing about, you better call on Tyrone. She basically was saying, you better call on your side dude if that's the situation. No, you better call on divorce lawyer. You better call on the end of that relationship if that's what it is, if both of y'all are stepping out. Because we only have one side of the story, and we know for a fact that this woman here is indeed cheating on her husband. She has a whole entire other relationship. And some people out there will try to project their own situation. Well, you don't understand. It's hard when you're not intimate, you're not close, you're not connected, you don't know. It is what it is. Infidelity is still infidelity. Betrayal is still betrayal. You can cover it any two ways that you want to. It's still that. I want to see if we get any good advice, because usually when I see this panel, there's somebody up there with some sense. Probably not this dude right here. He's already come out as a pander bear, aka a panderer, and basically all he does is sell this idea of relationship, but he really just looks to pander to black women. But let's go.
Maybe he has stamina for a long conversation. I think a lot of times when it comes to being married, whether it's for 2 years, 20 years, 30 years, a lot of times we forget that the other side of the grass will always look greener. And a lot of times you can fall in love with the color of that grass and then oversee yours. I'm not sure if that man still loves you or not. But what I will tell you is those rose-colored glasses can be just as blinding as the day you got married. So that new might be just like your husband, but it may take a while to see it.
Well, yeah, this isn't even where I was going to go with it, but he is correct. You know, it's like people who, let's say, end up having affairs at their jobs or whatever it is, right? They got their work husband, work wife, which is, again, you lack integrity. You lack character. You are a shameful individual and you should be ashamed of yourself. But those types of individuals, they look at somebody and they see an aspect that they're showing. So you got somebody that you know, right? You know what their farts smell like. You've been around them long enough. You know what their breath smells like in the morning. You understand me? You know those little nuances of their character, and essentially that quote unquote honeymoon phase is over, and now you're in real life. Now you're actually having to develop a real relationship. So you go to your workplace or wherever you're going, your gym, whatever, and you have this image of this person, and wow, look how amazing they are. Oh, they compliment me. This is for both men and women, right? I've seen it on both sides. You create this image and this character. Oh my goodness, what it would be like to be with them. Guess what? They got stinking farts too. They got stank breath too. And there's going to come a time when those compliments ain't complimenting. There's going to come a time where, okay, maybe you leave the situation. And I've always said they're going to, the same way you found them is the same way they found you is the same way they'll leave you. So you start in an infidelity, you start with a cheating relationship. That's likely the way it's going to go on the other side, because these types of people cannot be content. They are narcissistic. And if you're the one who's doing it, you're narcissistic. Those are narcissistic, psychopathic tendencies. When you cannot empathize enough with somebody to not betray him and cause that sort of harm onto another human being. So, yeah, I mean, you know, people are always looking for, well, the next best thing. It must be way better over there. And then you find yourself in the very same situation. You deserve it.
Honestly, though, before we go further, the issue is that she
married.
Thank you.
That's what I'm saying.
Thank you. I told y'all this dude is not gonna get this guy's not gonna get to it. I think his name is like Metaphor. Ace Metaphor. He's been called out already 1,000 times. He's a panda bear. He's trifling as hell. But thank you. This is the only common sense guy up here.
She married. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. She's out of pocket.
God damn. How long? No. God. Ain't nobody finna be philosophical about that shit. You out here cheating on your goddamn husband and talking about what you supposed to do. Either take your home or get a goddamn divorce. How you up here asking for advice on how to violate a little more efficiently?
Oh.
I know I'm wilding, but help me wild out just a little, I'm trying to tighten it up.
Nah, you're the only one. You're the only one who's willing to tell the truth. Thank you. Somebody up there. The state of modern relationships, and I can't say everybody, it's easy to generalize. Sometimes we got to touch grass and realize social media is not necessarily all of reality, but it does give us an insight into reality. And there has been this shift I've seen even in my short lifespan where it's like there is this animosity between the sexes, even in the context of relationships, where it's like we're being conditioned to be enemies of one another, right? The male versus women versus men, like the red pill to the feminist thing. We're being conditioned to be adversaries as opposed to coming together in union, coming together and essentially, I don't even want to say partners necessarily because that word has been co-opted, but is to come together and fill out the gaps. Masculine and feminine coming together in a beautiful way, right? To fill out those gaps. But instead, women are now being told to compete with men. Men are now being told to resent and not trust women. And when you see these types of situations, rightfully so. But we can't keep doing this. We can't keep normalizing this. Thank you for saying something because nobody else on that panel shamed. And I'm going to bring it down to a cultural element. I know it's not reserved to any quote unquote ethnicity of people, but I've noticed, especially in America, especially in the West, it's like black folk, there's an acceptance. I guess it comes from, when you have broken households, what else do you expect but to have turbulent and ungrounded relationships? Even when you have married folks out here talking about, I got a husband and a boyfriend. My boyfriend loves me. I don't know about my husband. Lady, do you hear yourself? Are you not ashamed of yourself? Bring back shame. I'm still floored. I'm flabbergasted. My goodness. Are you not ashamed? We need to do better. And if you got somebody like this in your life, please do not spare them because you're not doing anybody any service. And frankly, you're complicit. If you're somebody who knows somebody in your life who's close to you that is stepping out on their marriage or whatever it may be, and you're not saying anything to the other, you're wrong for that. Y'all talk about, well, I'm loyal to my brother, loyal to my sister, loyal to... No. That's not loyalty. That's dead ass wrong. I'm snitching. I'm telling. I'm going to go to the person first and say, look, you're living wrong and I'm not going to be around you. I'm not going to enable this type of behavior. So I don't want you around me. Your character is compromised through and through. I don't care what the other person, what they got going on. You're the one in my life. I'm going to talk to you first. And if you do not correct, if you do not go up to that person and admit what the hell you're doing, I'm going to tell. I was sent there for a purpose. Damn it, I'm not going to live trifling just because you want somebody to coddle you in your destructive behavior. Absolutely not. So, yeah, I was not prepared for this one, but my parting message is that if you got this type of person around you, call them out. And if you are this type of person, you're dead ass wrong and you need to fix it. The other person's not the problem. You're the problem. It's like if somebody were to step out and to cheat on me, I'm not going to go and cheat on them because my character informs me, not what they do. Some folks move like that. Oh, they did me wrong, I'm going to do them. No. I'm just going to leave you. I have enough respect and dignity to let you go and to never turn back, right? I'm not going to look back to Sodom and Gomorrah. I'm not about to turn into a pillar of salt, looking back at you salty as hell. Absolutely not. I will continue to move forward in my life. We will cut contact. I will let you go, wash my hands completely of the situation, and I will continue to be the man of character that I am. Simple. I'm not going to move how you move just because you did it to me. Absolutely not. So that's not an excuse. Appreciate you guys for tuning in. Now, if you'd like to stay around, make sure to click that little subscribe button down there, or you can show some love by going to the description below and clicking on the button titled Buy Me a Coffee. Leave a little something there, or click on the Cash App. Leave a little something here. Till the next time, peace.
I fell in love with the sunshine. I fell in love with the light. I fell in love with the full moon. I fell in love with the night. I can see the light again. I can see the light. You can see the life in him illuminate the night. I know the time is taking. A 3, 6, 5, that's a full rotation. I see you looking up, you know them constellations. Constantly gazing like house of praises, you get to praising.